I don't know.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Because they're replacing.
Didn't we laugh at the part where Bing Bong died?
You guys did. You guys you laughed at that part. The group before, I think Bryce got actually emotional.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, Bing bong, no!
Oh no, someone spoiled it. I think you spoiled it. Someone spoiled it. But like, no, it was Francis.
Yeah, you guys are a terrible
So,
audience.
I can't take Disney seriously.
I was the only one that haven't seen
It was kind of funny though.
It's not Disney, it's Pixar.
I can't
It's
take those
different.
kinds of movies seriously.
I normally hate Pixar because they're too emotional.
Bing Bong kind of just evaporated, I guess.
He like fell off a cliff. Who's good likes to play bing bong, bing bong. We'll wait a minute and get Isaiah and Kayla in here. And then it's Trump Day.
Yay. I'm so excited.
No.
It was like he said like I.
Of course he did.
We won.
That really hurt.
Bing bong, bing bong.
What's it converting over there?
My video from last class, even though it's dumb to even bother. In fact, I could stop converting.
Who is in that class? Is it just him? I mean, it's so funny. Like, he was the only one that came in on these days.
He
but
is
he's
the
also
only one that comes
person.
in. He's not the only person in that class. He's the only person that comes in on those days.
How many other people are in that class?
There's only 6 people in that class.
There were 5 people coming in.
No, not everybody comes at all. Oh yeah, I see that. I won the election. You literally didn't though.
Did he literally say that?
Yeah, I won the election.
He said that this morning.
Yeah,
Really,
5
what was he
hours
even
ago.
thinking about?
The first comment says, Alexa, show me an example of a delusional, deteriorating doofus.
He's in denial.
Seriously.
On one of the news channels, they were having like a hotline where you call to like, report voter fraud.
Yeah.
And it was like this person called in and you could see the shadowy figure and they were talking. And it was almost like Trump was a voice changer. Somebody took it and like, took the voice changer off.
Yeah.
And it was just Trump.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Look, you guys are on the Zoom.
Hey, look, they're on the Zoom.
That's wild.
I feel so tall.
I've been taking pictures this whole time.
That's insane. Look at that. I wonder where Isaiah is.
Yeah, I know. Either why are you letting me follow you?
Look at all you guys. I keep thinking Wash is going to come in here. He's like kind of lurking outside the door. Okay, I'm hoping Isaiah will show up. I don't know. He didn't like tell me that he wasn't going to be here or anything. But I posted on, what do you call it, D2L. There's too many things to keep track of, too many platforms. But I posted the link to the text so you guys can open that and be looking at it. And I have the video, which we're gonna.
Wow. What a plane.
Oh my God, I thought I had a stroke. Oh my God. I've never been more alarmed in my life. So scary. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here, even though I sort of hate to, just because it's cool that it's finally got the whole thing on it. Huh? What? Okay. So we will watch this guy. It's like 20 minutes, a little shorter than Barack's, and you guys can follow along. Did it shorter?
Thank you, Mark. So nice.
Wow, that's nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here this morning. So many faith leaders, very, very important people to me from across our magnificent nation, and so many leaders from all across the globe. Today we continue a tradition begun by President Eisenhower some 64 years ago. This gathering is a testament to the power of faith and is one of the great customs of our nation. And I hope to be here 7 more times with you. I want very much to thank our co-chair, Senator Bozeman and Senator Coons, and all of the congressional leadership. They're all over the place. We have a lot of very distinguished guests. And we have one guest who was just sworn in last night, Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State. Going to do a great job. Some people didn't like Rex because he actually got along with leaders of the world. I said, no, you have to understand, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. He's respected all over the world, and I think he's going to go down as one of our great, great secretaries. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Rex.
It's very hard to pay attention to what he's saying because there's so
Thank you
much
as well to Senate Chaplain Barry Black for his moving words. And I don't know, Chaplain, whether or not that's an appointed position. Is that an appointed position? I don't even know if you're Democrat or if you're Republican, but I'm appointing you for another year. The hell with it. And I think it's not even my appointment. It's the Senate's appointment, but we'll talk to them. You're very, your son is here. Your job is very, very secure, okay? Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it very much. I also want to thank my great friends, the Roma. Where's Roma? Beautiful Roma Downey. The voice of an angel. She's got the voice. Every time I hear that voice is so beautiful. Everything is so beautiful about Roma, including her husband. Because he's a special, special friend, Mark Burnett, for the wonderful introduction. So true, so true. I said to the agent, I'm sorry. The only thing, I actually got on the phone, fired him myself. She said, you don't want to do it, it'll never work, it'll never, ever work, you don't want to do it. I said, listen. But I really fired him after it became the #1 show. It became so successful. And he wanted a commission, and he didn't want to do this. That's what I really said. But we had tremendous success on The Apprentice. And when I ran for president, I had to leave the show. That's when I knew for sure I was doing it. And they hired a big, big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster. And Mark will never, ever bet against Trump again. And I want to just pray for Arnold if we can for those ratings. Okay.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear him pray.
But we've had an amazing life together the last 14, 15 years, and an outstanding man. And thank you very much for introducing me. Appreciate it. It's a great honor. I also want to thank my dear friend, Vice President Mike Pence, who has been incredible. And incredible wife, Karen. And every time I was in a little trouble with something, where they were questioning me, they'd say, but he picked Mike Pence. So he has to know what he's doing. And it's true. He's been, on the scale of 0 to 10, I rate him a 12, okay? So I want to thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But most importantly today, I want to thank the American people. Your faith and prayers have sustained me and inspired me through some very, very tough times. All around America, I have met amazing people whose words of worship and encouragement have been a constant source of strength. What I hear most often as I travel the country are 5 words that never, ever fail to touch my heart. That's, I am praying for you. I hear it so often. I am praying for you, Mr. President. No one has inspired me more in my travels than the families of the United States military. Men and women who have put their lives on the line every day for their country and their countrymen. I just came back yesterday from Dover Air Force Base to join the family of Chief William Ryan Owens as America's fallen hero was returned home. Very, very sad, but very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. His family was there. Incredible family, loved him so much, so devastated. He was so devastated. But the ceremony was amazing. He died in defense of our nation. He gave his life in defense of our people. Our debt to him and our debt to his family is eternal and everlasting. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. We will never forget the men and women who wear the uniform. Believe me. Thank you.
This is chaotic. You just quoted something.
From generation to generation, their vigilance has kept our liberty alive. Our freedom is won by their sacrifice, and our security has been earned with their sweat and blood and tears. God has blessed this land to give us such incredible heroes and patriots. They are very, very special, and we are going to take care of them. Our soldiers understand that what matters is not party or ideology or creed, but the bonds of loyalty that link us all together as one. America is a nation of believers. In towns all across our land, it's plain to see what we easily forget. So easily we forget this, that the quality of our lives is not defined by our material success, but by our spiritual success. I will tell you that, and I tell you that from somebody that has had material success and knows tremendous numbers of people with great material success, the most material success. Many of those people are very, very miserable, unhappy people. And I know a lot of people without that, but they have great families, they have great faith, they don't have money, at least not nearly to the extent, and they're happy. Those, to me, are the successful people, I have to tell you. I was blessed to be raised in a churched home. My mother and father taught me that to whom much is given, much is expected. I was sworn in on the very Bible from which my mother would teach us as young children. And that faith lives on in my heart every single day. The people in this room come from many, many backgrounds. You represent so many religions and so many views. But we are all united by our faith in our Creator and our firm knowledge that we are all equal in His eyes. We are not just flesh and bone and blood. We are human beings with souls. Our republic was formed on the basis that freedom is not a gift from government, but that freedom is a gift from God. It was the great Thomas Jefferson who said, "The God who gave us life gave us liberty." Jefferson asked, "Can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed a conviction that these liberties are the gift of God?" Among those freedoms is the right to worship according to our own beliefs. That is why I will get rid of and totally destroy the Johnson Amendment and allow our representatives of faith to speak freely and without fear of retribution. I will do that, remember. Freedom of religion is a sacred right, but it is also a right under threat all around us. And the world is under serious, serious threat in so many different ways. And I've never seen it so much and so openly as since I took the position of president. The world is in trouble, but we're going to straighten it out, okay? That's what I do. I fix things. We're going to straighten it out. Believe me, when you hear about the tough phone calls I'm having, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. They're tough. We have to be tough. It's time we're going to be a little tough, folks. We're taken advantage of by every nation in the world virtually. It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore.
Saturday Night Live.
We have seen unimaginable violence carried out in the name of religion. Acts of wanton slaughter against religious minorities. Horrors on a scale that defy description. Terrorism is a fundamental threat to religious freedom. It must be stopped, and it will be stopped. It may not be pretty for a little while. It will be stopped. We have seen and by the way, General, as you know, James Mad Dog, shouldn't say it in this room, Mattis. Now, there's a reason they call him Mad Dog Mattis. Never lost a battle, always wins them, and always wins them fast. He's our new Secretary of Defense. We'll be working with Rex. He's right now in South Korea, going to Japan, going some other spots. I'll tell you what, I've gotten to know him really well. He's the real deal. We have somebody who's the real deal working for us, and that's what we need. So you watch. You just watch. Things will be different. We have seen peace-loving Muslims brutalized, victimized, murdered, and oppressed by ISIS killers. We have seen threats of extermination against the Jewish people. We have seen a campaign of ISIS and genocide against Christians, where they cut off heads. Not since the Middle Ages have we seen that.
Where is he pulling
We
this
haven't seen
stuff
that. The cutting off of heads.
out?
Now they cut off the heads. They drown people in steel cages. Haven't seen this. Haven't seen this. Nobody's seen this for many, many years. All nations have a moral obligation to speak out against such violence. All nations have a duty to work together to confront it, and to confront it viciously if we have to. So I want to express clearly today to the American people that my administration will do everything in its power to defend and protect religious liberty in our land. America must forever remain a tolerant society where all faiths are respected and where all of our citizens can feel safe and secure. We have to feel safe and secure. In recent days, we have begun to take necessary action to achieve that goal. Our nation has the most generous immigration system in the world. But these are those, and there are those that would exploit that generosity to undermine the values that we hold so dear. We need security. There are those who would seek to enter our country for the purpose of spreading violence or oppressing other people based upon their faith or their lifestyle. Not right. We will not allow a beachhead of intolerance to spread in our nation. You look all over the world and you see what's happening. So in the coming days, we will develop a system to help ensure that those admitted into our country fully embrace our values of religious and personal liberty, and that they reject any form of oppression and discrimination. We want people to come into our nation, but we want people to love us and to love our values, not to hate us and to hate our values. We will be a safe country, we will be a free country, and we will be a country where all citizens can practice their beliefs without fear of hostility or fear of violence. America will flourish as long as our liberty, and in particular, our religious liberty, is allowed to flourish. America will succeed as long as our most vulnerable citizens, and we have some that are so vulnerable, have a path to success. And America will thrive as long as we continue to have faith in each other and faith in God. That faith in God has inspired men and women to sacrifice for the needy, to deploy to wars overseas, and to lock arms at home to ensure equal rights for every man, woman, and child in our land. It's that faith that sent the pilgrims across the oceans, the pioneers across the plains, and the young people all across America to chase their dreams. They are chasing their dreams. We are going to bring those dreams back. As long as we have God, we are never, ever alone. Whether it's the soldier on the night watch or the single parent on the night shift, God will always give us solace and strength and comfort we need to carry on and to keep carrying on. For us here in Washington, we must never, ever stop asking God for the wisdom to serve the public according to his will. That's why, thank you. That's why President Eisenhower and Senator Carlson had the wisdom to gather together 64 years ago to begin this truly great tradition. But that's not all they did together. Let me tell you the rest of the story. Just 1 year later, Senator Carlson was among the members of Congress to send to the president's desk a joint resolution that added "under God" to our Pledge of Allegiance. It's a great thing. Because that's what we are, and that is what we will always be, and that is what our people want. One beautiful nation under God. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, hey, there goes Isaiah.
Oh, no.
I checked a couple of times, but
Oh my God, the camera's up there?
yeah, isn't it wild?
Yeah.
I love it.
You're not even in the shot.
I know. That's why I love it. So Isaiah, we just listened to Trump's speech and looked at the text of it, and it's it's on D2L, both the text and the video. So you'll definitely want to go back and watch that. I do want to say, like, we'll obviously talk about it more tomorrow and like have the discussion questions that come in the book and everything. But I do also want to encourage you to like look at the text on your own and look at the text without the video context, because I feel like it really makes a difference. And like we saw that with the Barack speech too, because obviously stuff like his pauses made a really big difference in how effective it was. But if we're just looking at the speech, if we're just looking at the text, we might see some different stuff. Now, does that mean that I think you're going to be super impressed by Trump's speech if he's not the one reading it? No, I don't necessarily think that. Like, I noticed quite a lot of like redundancy and stuff like that, but I do think you should at some point look at just the text of the speech and see what you can get out of it. Was there anything just offhand that anybody noticed that you thought was either terrible or not that bad, Madison?
I don't know if he's like doing it because he forgot his lines or like he was not intentional. But he kept repeating words.
Yeah, he did. I noticed that. And I do wonder if it's intentional because repetition is definitely a
The way he
thing.
was delivering his lines is like he forgot.
Yeah. He does this thing when he speaks, and like I'm really not trying. Yeah, I guess I am trying to make fun of him, but it's like the Michael Scott thing where he's like, sometimes I don't even know where a sentence is going. I just start talking and hope I reach the end. And like I kind of feel like he does that sometimes because he will like repeat himself in different ways, and it just sounds like he didn't really know what the point was going to be, but he was hoping he'd find it along the way. And I noticed that a couple of times in this. I was like, why is he still saying what he's saying? Like, move on to the next thing. I did think it was really interesting that he spent a lot longer than Barack did thanking people and like doing preliminary stuff before he got into like the heart of the message. What would you say was the heart of the message? Like, what was he trying to get across? What's his main point?
Prosperity only if you believe in God.
I think that's fair to say. Which he did talk about.
America is Christianity, basically, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. And he did talk about, I mean, he said stuff about like being able to worship any way that you wanted to, or like
I
he
just feel like
mentioned
that was kind of
something-
lost at the end, though. Like,
I
he didn't
agree.
Bring it up again. It was just put in there to cover all his bases. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And I'm really trying to leave my feelings out of it, but just know, like, we do know a lot about both presidents and kind of where they stand on things, which is why I got really upset at one point because he was like, they're keeping people in cages. I was like, what? He got very mad. But to be fair, this was several years before that, so I guess he changed his mind on keeping people in cages. Anything else that you noticed, like rhetorically, that you noticed there?
So it seems like, I mean, I can see like what he's doing. Like sometimes he would look intently somewhere and like it's obvious he's reading because his eyes are moving like
Yeah.
that. So it feels like whenever, like when he is reading, it's fine. Like the speech is all right. But when he looks away and starts spewing his own inner thoughts, it just gets
Yeah.
off the rails.
Like maybe the speech itself wasn't that bad
Yeah, I mean,
when
the
whoever
whole-
wrote it, but
Yeah.
with like peppered in with his own little
It just
things.
seemed unprofessional.
Yeah.
basically, for
Yeah, I
that
agree with that.
Especially the cutting off of the heads part.
Oh my
That
God.
part of it. He did the motion, he was like
Cutting off.
cutting off the head.
Like maybe that's not necessary.
He said it like 3 times. I was like, okay.
What a mess. Kind of want to like look back at the text for just a moment. Where is the text? Nope, that's inside out. Yeah.
He would like say something and then say nothing else to back it up.
Do you remember any examples?
Like he'd be like, they're chopping people's heads off. I've seen it.
Right.
So anyway, so
Like just
Like, it seems like that might be a good time for either not saying that at all or like an
Big
illustration.
stuff is coming, guys. Big stuff is coming.
But he just like
What's the stuff?
Yeah, he really uses a lot of like buzzwords and stuff that sounds impressive. He uses just like superlatives all the time. Like, this is the best thing. This is the worst thing. This is the greatest thing we've ever done. And I'm like, well, it might just be like a normal thing. It might not be like that great or that terrible.
It's like a last minute essay.
Kind of, yeah. I did find it really, this is not to do with the rhetoric, but I did find it interesting that he thanked all of these people and didn't thank his own wife. He thanked Mike Pence's wife,
Yeah.
but didn't thank his own.
After she stole that speech, I had not heard of it.
No. Have you seen the stuff about how like there's body doubles for her? And like it's kind of a conspiracy theory, but I mean I think it's real though.
have you seen the videos of like Trump will try to hold her hand and then she like
Slap him away.
There was one and Trump was giving a speech and Aaron was like standing beside him and he was like laughing, but giggling to himself while Trump was doing his speech.
Oh my gosh.
She just wanted to like win a rich wife, but she accidentally ended up marrying the president.
Yeah. Like I don't think she ever had this in mind.
I mean, aside from like what he's talking about, it's just
His speech is not consistent.
I don't know. It just feels jumpy.
It does.
Feels jumpy.
Yeah, like not organized. There's not like a good coherence or like cohesiveness. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
It doesn't
Um,
go from subject to subject. Like, super subject.
And there's like he tries to act like there's emotion in it, but there's really not. Like when he was talking about the guy who was army, I guess he died. Like his family was sad, like really sad.
yeah.
Like sad. Like,
Yeah.
So sad. Anyways.
And actually, okay, where is that? Because I feel like he said something in a way that he didn't mean to say it. Oh yeah, he's the real deal.
Oh yeah, the Mad Dog.
And Mad Dog. Whenever he was talking about the dead soldier or whatever, he said something like he meant to say they were very sad or something like that, and he actually said he was very sad.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
that just kind of like
Yeah.
ruins your whole message there.
Oh yeah, he
I don't remember where that was. I thought it was towards the
Wait, I
beginning. Yeah, the great Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, it was like
agreed.
very, very sad, but very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. His family was there. Incredible family. We loved him so much. So devastated. He was so devastated.
It's like, sure he was. He was dead.
He
I'm
was
like-
dead.
Even just reading that, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it sounds like a Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, even before that, he was like.
Very, very sad, but very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. His family was there. Incredible family. Loved him so much. Lots of fragments. We could talk about lots of
I
fragments.
mean, usually speeches have fragments and stuff.
They
right?
do.
Like,
It
it's
sounds
a lot more than usual.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's tweeting out loud a little bit.
Oh yeah. I was so confused after this next paragraph where he quotes something and everybody starts like giving him a like standing ovation or something. And I feel like
Yeah, I don't know if it's because
he
he.
was talking about the military and they were like,
Yeah, we'll never forget the men and women who wear the uniform. Believe me, and that was
like
like
he's the first
a
person
standing
to ever say
ovation.
it. I'm sorry.
Right, like,
I'm
no
sorry.
one-
Yeah, they stood
I
up.
feel like everybody talks about that, and probably like in a lot of former prayer breakfasts, people would have talked about
I
that.
mean that has nothing to do with the
Dude, it
speech
says
itself,
your
but it's
words
just like a
on the
weird
website.
kind of thing.
Yeah, he talks about soldiers for quite a while, which is not really the relevant thing.
Like, I was like, is this about like soldiers or is it about like religion?
Right.
I was like
I don't know.
kind of getting lost for a second.
I
I'm
know.
still confused on what he was trying to portray about religion itself.
Yeah, like the
Relating,
Lost
yeah.
of like the point was.
right, the message isn't super clear.
He want
Because he
everybody.
was talking about, equality with religion, then he was talking about, inequality, and then he was like, if you want to be in America, you have to, do it legally.
Right.
You just deleted the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everybody all religions are accepted here. One nation under God, a Christian God.
Yeah.
God bless. Anyways, bye.
I feel like it is very hard to be objective about the speech, especially, and it was with Obama's speech too, just like knowing what we know about both of them and like knowing that he's been pretty anti-Muslim, it kind of makes a lot of the speech sort of, no, silly. It kind of makes the speech fall flat a little bit when he says things about how like anybody is welcome to worship here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about terrorism for a hot minute. He was like, "You're silencing the Christians' voices."
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've seen it.
I've seen it.
They're cutting off the heads.
I've seen it. What?
Yeah, he's like, I haven't seen this since the Middle Ages. Like, you haven't been in the Middle Ages.
You were never there.
Nobody has seen this for many, many years. Like,
I'm really like,
obviously he doesn't speak about Muslims directly, but like he talks about violence in sort of like a vague way where it's like, he's talking about that.
Yeah.
He's like, everybody has an obligation to speak out against such violence.
Right.
You know what's going on?
this is another spot where I'm just like, I don't know what he's trying to say, because he was talking about like soldiers and like how much he appreciates the military and all this, and then goes into like materialism. Like the quality of our lives is not defined by our material success, but our spiritual success. Okay, like that's a fair point to make. But then I will tell you that, and I tell you that from somebody that has had material success and knows tremendous numbers of people with great material success, the most material success. Many of those people are very, very miserable, unhappy people. And I know a lot of people without that, but they have great families, they have great faith. They don't have money, at least not nearly to the extent, and they're happy. Those to me are the successful people. I have to
almost said not nearly to the extent of me.
Yes, that's totally what I was gonna say. Not to the extent that I have. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I thought the phrase "a church home" was very strange.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, did they not I was blessed to be raised in a church home.
Oh, a church. I think you said a church.
What's that? It's a weird way to phrase it. I would just be like, my family went to church when I was growing up, or like something like that.
Yeah, so like
I was raised in a home of churchgoers, or I don't know.
Even that would be better, even though it's not like super put together. That
Right.
would be better than a church home.
A church home sounds very strange. It kind of sounds like your home was in the church.
I mean, obviously this had an impact on that audience, so I'm trying to get into
Yeah.
the eyes of them, but I just can't. Like, I don't understand how like they got a standing ovation.
No, they were just like impressed with me.
I feel like
I'm trying to
it was one of
remember.
those sets where they have the note cards like at the Wendy Williams show and it's like clap.
Oh,
Yeah.
clap.
No, it might be. I'm trying to remember if there were so many like interruptions of applause in Obama's speech, and I don't remember.
I mean, I think there were
Well,
like
it's
he got
hard
cut
to
off by.
repeat pauses for like 8 seconds at a time.
Yeah. I think they just have like such a different style that
Like it feels
I-
like when Trump pauses, he's expecting applause. But
Yeah.
like when Obama paused, he was just leaving it there to like soak in. Like it didn't seem like,
Like
he
he
was
was
waiting
actually
for
pausing
something.
because that's what he does.
yeah.
Trump is like, it sounds like a rambling of like an old man. And you don't know like when to cut and feed or like grandfather
Yeah.
talking about. And he just kinda
You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
So then you're just like,
Okay.
right. Right, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
We talked about how like Obama had such a conversational tone and just like very casual, almost like he would be talking to somebody one-on-one. And this is a very different style. Like the way that he delivers it, it is sort of like,
He legit says, "Let me tell you," like 5 times.
He
in
tries
He's
Yeah.
like, let me tell you. Like, it's, okay.
Right. Well, it's not quite as like forceful as like Dwight Schrute being this
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
It's got
obviously.
it's got like kind of a similar energy.
It's like subtly.
like
kinda-
he's trying to get a response from the crowd.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I feel.
it worked. They did respond.
Businesses, like posting names on their Twitter account.
Yeah. It's like, I relate to all of you, yes. I have friends who have less money than me.
It's like what's the unfunny person in the group like tells a joke and they like look around to see who's laughing and there's like no one laughing.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
applause.
That's what I do. I fix things. We're gonna straighten it out. Believe me, when you hear about the tough phone calls I'm having, don't worry about it. I mean, I guess you could say some of that sounds kind of conversational. I don't think it's intentional, but he does sort of fluctuate between like reading the speech, which is like, you know, fine, and just saying whatever off the cuff. And I
Some of
feel
the
like the
conversational moments are kind of inappropriate
Yeah.
for the subject.
yeah, agreed.
It just feels awkward.
It does feel awkward.
It's like if you're not like friends with Trump, then like I don't know what you're talking about.
Friends like Mad Dog was friends.
Like, he goes to talking about terrorism, like talking about his friend named Mad Dog. It's like, all right, sure.
It's literally like my grandpa talking.
Yeah, like this the redundancy thing I was talking about, like this. There's a reason they call him Mad Dog. He never lost a battle. Always wins them and always wins them fast.
He's
Like that's not
he never
repetition.
lost. He
He's
always
just
won.
yeah, he's just like phrasing the same thing in a different way. I'm like, why are you doing that, buddy?
He never died in battle.
What is happening? My God. Okay, so we'll talk about this more tomorrow. I would kind of encourage you to like read the text on your own. We have about 10 minutes left in class. I'll remind you of this tomorrow, but we're not gonna meet on Zoom Wednesday. Huh? Yeah. I have a training that I have to do all day, so I can't meet with classes. But I mean, you know how the schedule works for the week, so you won't have any new like paragraph stuff, but all of your quizzes are due on Thursday, so you can either work on that or like review, do IXL stuff. Like I said, I'll remind you about it tomorrow. But before I let these guys go, anything for the good of the group? Okay, we'll chat about it tomorrow, and Kayla and Isaiah will see you tomorrow.